Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 19th ever episode of Press A2 Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Hujic, and with me today is Brandon Williams.
Never lets me do anything fun.
Taylor Severn.
Never.
Hello.
And Scott McPherson.
I have us right now.
And today we are going to be talking about Fallout 4. We're all very excited, but first I want to ask you guys, how are you? Is everyone doing good? Everyone doing fine? You know. Everyone's real happy with how the stream's been going so far.
I was just like zombies earlier.
Just fantastic.
It's amazing. Cheers.
I can't believe I've stopped everything I was doing tonight just to do this.
Oh yeah, me too.
We all stopped playing Fallout 4 to talk about Fallout 4.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
So I think that leads us perfectly into our first question. What are your guys' experiences with not just Fallout 4 but all the Fallouts? Have you played them all from the beginning? Have you only came in recently? Have you not played any of them at all? Brandon, do you wanna start us off?
Okay, I played Fallout 3
the only one that's played
and Fallout 4, and I've watched some stuff on Fallout 1 and 2, but I wouldn't play them, or do I want to?
They're a little.
What about New Vegas?
Oh yeah, no, we don't talk about that.
New Vegas is awesome. We'll get into it. But all right, so you've played the modern ones at the very least.
I played the good ones.
You've played the recent ones. Taylor, what about you? What's your Fallout experience?
I've generally avoided Fallout because I don't want to die from nuclear radiation.
There you go.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll give it to you. Rad-X. Radiation.
Are those even real?
Oh, it's real.
Oh, they're real.
There's a company in Toronto that gave out these radiation, anti-radiation pills because of the nuclear plant that they have there.
Oh yeah,
everyone in a 100-mile radius.
Yeah,
that received one of these nuclear.
I like to think
anti-radiation.
That was actually just Fallout 4 hype.
That happened on the day Fallout 4 came out.
Yeah, it was like. Was it the day of, or it was really close to the day?
It was the day of. Fallout 4 was coming out, and they were sending out these pills to everyone in a 50-mile radius.
I'm frozen.
No,
Hi, Scott. Welcome back to the world of the
Fallout. My Twitch stream.
Brandon's frozen for me.
Anyways,
Jacob's just like coddling his hair.
Yeah, sorry. I got a really bad haircut recently. Okay, listen.
I didn't get a haircut. Can you tell?
It's very nice. It's not as bad as this madness, but I went to an establishment.
Still frozen.
A barbering establishment, and they made me look like a Gino. I'm just gonna come out and say it. They just it was all poofy and I thought it looked pretty good. But
Jacob, I missed the bowl cut.
I looked like a Gino. I missed my bowl cut. Okay, little 12-year-old Jacob with his bowl cut. But now I have this weird thing, and it sticks up. And
Fallout 4, everybody.
Fallout 4. You can change your hair in it. So Taylor, what is your experience with Fallout 4?
As I've said, I've generally avoided Fallout. I don't like nuclear radiation. I don't want to die from it.
He did say that.
Fair enough.
I've stayed clear of Fallout zones.
You were too busy worrying about your hair.
A little known fact, when you play Fallout, the radiation from your monitors, especially if you play on CRT monitors, it actually amplifies. It was
by 10.
It's true.
Yeah. At least 50 bananas.
At least 50 bananas of radiation. Wow. Scott, how many bananas of radiation have you played?
Rage. I've played Rage.
It's
Bethesda.
It's not really Fallout.
It's Bethesda. It's post-nuclear apocalypse, but with Borderlands graphics.
But you've never actually played. You never actually played Fallout?
I have watched some people stream Fallout because, it's a game that I'm going to play. I just wanted to finish a lot because I have a million games on the go, so I just wanted to finish them first.
So we'll have an addendum podcast for when you have finally actually played Fallout 4.
We can do that.
No, we don't need to do that.
You know why?
Nope.
Because we're the bosses.
You know what? We might actually do that because we might run out of games. But I wanted to
run out of games. Scott, who do you think you're talking to?
You sunk ungodly amounts of hours into Skyrim, and why would you never try Fallout? It's the same developers. It's the same kind of concept.
Main reason is because I never actually knew about the games, like never seen them advertised or like especially with 3 and stuff. Like I don't know. And for Skyrim, that was just like because like everyone was talking about it because it was like new at the time. Like Fallout 3 had already been out when I started playing stuff. So I don't even know when it came out actually. I'm not sure. But anyway, I don't really. And then I was kind of
Quite
just
a while
like,
ago.
I only played Skyrim because it was like everyone was like, "Oh man, but Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, this," and I'd watched some gameplay of Oblivion, and I was just like, But I tried Skyrim because it was just like
it was
sure.
real big. There was lots
Yeah,
of people talking
and
about
I was just like, oh. When I started playing, and I know this is gonna be the same thing that happens when I start playing Fallout. It's just gonna be like my life is gonna be gone. So, that's why I haven't started playing.
Confirm.
That's why I haven't started playing yet, because it's like I am enjoying all these other games, and it's just like once I start playing that kind of game, that's it.
It's a good Christmas break game.
Want to hear something crazy? I haven't like
my experience
touched Destiny in like 2 weeks.
You haven't touched what? Sorry.
Destiny.
What?
In like 2 weeks, yeah. And I played it. I loaded it up today, and I got disconnected about 5 times in 10 minutes, and then I shut it off.
Are they having a stream problem?
You used to go at least 16 times disconnected before shutting it off.
At least.
At least. I can't believe this.
My experience with Fallout has been kind of all over the place. I have not played Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I have watched a lot of streams, and I've watched a lot of commentary on it and stuff like that. But I did play Fallout 3, although I never owned it. I do own...
I lid.
oh my god, it's a lid. I do own Fallout New Vegas, and I really, really enjoyed that. I own all the old Fallouts. So I own Fallout 1, 2, Tactics. There was a real... It was a
Oh, I forgot about Fallout Tactics! That's a good game.
I haven't played Fallout Tactics, but I did play a little bit of Fallout 1 and 2. So I have a little bit of experience with them. But yeah, I've played most of them except for the first one.
That reminds me, I also own 1, 2 Tactics and New Vegas.
Yeah, because it was
I did play Fallout
it was free on GOG. I think you were the one that clued me in, or I clued you in on that
something like
going
that.
on. Some exchange happened.
I own a bunch of Fallout games, never played them. Huh.
And that was like
Weird.
Tomb Raider until the new one. I owned all of them on Steam. Haven't
Really?
touched them. Oh yeah.
Nice.
But Brandon, I'll ask you, and anyone who can chime in, feel free. But at least from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, how do you think the game's improved? Can you speak to anything like regarding the combat specifically?
Well, actually, it really hasn't improved much.
Sorry.
Like, the game is almost the same, just in a different area, on like enhanced graphics, like much better than Fallout 3. I don't know. They haven't kind of improved their VATS system. Like now, time doesn't stop.
It just slows down.
It just slows down.
Well,
which really, I mean, it slows down a lot anyway.
In 3, I think it's slowed down to the point
completely
of
stops.
Oh yeah,
It completely stops in 3. Yeah, you can literally like pause the game in VATS or using VATS. Yeah, but that's kind of the only change they've really done to combat.
Does the gunplay feel any better? Like, do the guns sound and feel better to shoot? Are they more interesting at the very least, or is it?
There's definitely some interesting weapons. Yeah, like they have legendary weapons now, which do all kinds of different things. Like, I have this pipe pistol that that has exploding rounds in it, which is pretty awesome, and it burns targets. I have a plasma gun that has incendiary rounds, so when you fire the rounds at someone, they
just
start to burn. They do burn damage. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And then they have like other ones like melee weapons and stuff that have some cool perks on it, like consecutive hits do double damage and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
But they all sound good and feel good. I mean, combat, I found myself not using as much VATS as I used to compared to Fallout 3. In Fallout 3, all I did was use VATS.
Yeah, that was what I did. Oh my goodness! Oop. Someone just ran out of power. I remember when I was playing Fallout 3 and New Vegas, like I I tried like just aiming down the sights and normal kind of aiming, but it was just so much easier to because you didn't have to aim to use the VAT system. I feel like I used a healthy bit of both, but just from what I've seen of Fallout 4, it seems like it's a little smoother. The guns play a little better.
Smoother, definitely.
Which is good but that was one of the things that really turned me off of Skyrim was the combat.
The jankiness.
The combat in particular, let alone the other problems. But one thing that really intrigued me moving from Fallout 3 to New Vegas and then into 4 was the gun customization. I absolutely love customizing guns.
Yeah, I find myself doing that quite a bit. Even knowing I'm not really a high rank in the gun nut perk, which allows you to customize your guns more as you progress that perk. But no, there's quite a bit of stuff you can do, and then the customization is amazing. Like I haven't even scratched the surface on it.
Yeah, apparently like you can get lots of different mods, lots of like with the legendary weapons, you can. I don't know this for certain, but you can take them apart and like take the mods off them and put them onto other guns.
Not legendary weapons.
Not legendary weapons.
No.
But
items you find, you
can take them off.
Yeah, you can like scrap the weapon, and it'll salvage all the mods that it has on that weapon.
That's pretty cool.
That you can use towards other weapons, but you can't really use them until you get the level to use them.
Of the gun nut perk, or it just okay, interesting. Alrighty.
And then there's other perks and stuff that help you upgrade like melee weapons and stuff like that. Like there's a blacksmith perk.
Yeah.
And same thing for armor. Like there's a whole whack load of stuff you can do with armor customization, which
is it
I can't do
well
yet because I don't have the perk for it. Yes. I've seen some stuff, but
I've seen some
I really
things, man.
like you can get like colored power armor, which is pretty cool. And power armor is completely new.
Yeah, actually, that's something I wanted to talk about because one of the big differences from 3 to 4 has been the power armor. In 3, it was just armor. You just put it on, and it was much better than most of the other armor.
Basically, the power armor now is what the Brotherhood armor the heavy Brotherhood armor was in Fallout 3.
It was something you actually had to like.
It looks almost identical.
Yeah.
But now this is something that you have to climb into. Like before, it was just armor. Yeah, it basically is.
It's a vehicle that actually requires fuel too, which is very, very interesting.
Power. Yeah, it runs on fusion cores.
Yeah. Which is a super cool concept because it makes it like really valuable and special. I've really thought that was a really cool mechanic. No, it doesn't.
Well, you think fusion cores would be hard to come by, and
not from what I've heard.
Not so much.
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
I mean, at the start, yeah.
I mean, maybe not.
At the start, they're hard to come by. You don't really find them much, and you don't really use your power armor because of this. Well, I mean, I don't at least. I don't really find myself using power armor at all, really. But
it definitely changes
you don't really want to use the power armor because you think, oh, I'm going to run out of fusion cores. I got to save this for something awesome. And then you realize you're starting to collect more and more fusion cores, and it's like,
not as special all of a sudden.
Yeah, now it's not as special. Like, sure, I can use it, but I need to hoard these fusion cores.
Okay, that must be a tough balancing act for them. Just like how much do we give it to make it stay special, but also like actually let them use it? It wouldn't just be about scarcity. It would also be about like urgency and like pressuring them to use it when they. There's
definitely some times where you should be using it. Like I play on the survivalist difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't play it any other way. But I mean, the kind of like social gamer, I guess, might get more use out of it. What's that?
I said that was because of me.
Maybe.
I told you.
The more social gamer, yeah, actually, he was the reason why I went to
peer pressured him.
Yeah.
The more social gamer might get a bit of a kick out of the power armor, as opposed to someone who
casual
is more experienced in the Fallout series.
Alrighty.
It would be harder for a social gamer, someone that doesn't play a lot, to...
Sorry, speaking of social kind of things, I know you can start building societies and towns in the new Fallout.
Settlements.
Settlements, thank you. Can you speak to that? Have you? I know you have to do a little bit of it, like you're introduced into it early in the game, but it's not a very core part unless you like really get into it. Have you tried it?
Yeah, I've spent way too much time in that actually.
Really? Have you been enjoying it?
Just
like,
do
or
like
just like a weird need.
No, I like it. Like the first mission, you have to. I mean, it's part of the intro kind of thing. Yeah, you have you save this group, and then they come and settle at this area, and you have to shelter them. Like you have to give them beds, you have to build a room for them, give them water, give them power, and build them a chair. And that Mama Murphy.
We need a chair. Where will we sit?
And then there's other stuff you have to do for other settlements and whatnot. But I've spent way too much time trying to make just a base, like a full-on fort, like fencing areas in and making buildings and defenses. Yeah, gun turrets,
camps.
Yeah, I've spent way too much time in it, and you really don't need to spend any time in it. It's kind of just there for.
It's to feed on your OCD.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah, on the one hand, I do feel like they implemented it just so it'll give you a vent for your neuroses and different mental quirks. But also, there is a large part of it. I guess I'll just keep talking to you guys.
Yeah. It's
there's a large part of it apparently that lets you almost like influence an economy and introduce a market where you have to provide workers in the town will start giving you supplies and places to where you can trade and barter and then you can go use those equipment and supplies to get further out in the wasteland, to go deeper into harder areas, get more interesting resources which you can feed back into them, which they feed back to you, into a loop where you can get some very high, if you really get into it, you can get some high-level equipment much earlier than intended, I guess would be the word.
Yeah, just by grinding.
I wouldn't really say high-level area or high-level equipment because to get that to get traders and other stuff in your settlement, you need to have a certain perk to be able to build that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I think you get really good weapons by playing on the harder difficulties, like hard and survivalist.
Yes, the drop rates are better.
You meet a lot of legendary enemies.
Yeah.
And the legendary enemies is what gives you those legendary items.
Yeah, exactly. So can you... Sorry. For the... I completely lost what I was going to say. It's gone. So I guess we'll move on to my next topic with no segue whatsoever, the conversation wheel. I just want to speak briefly about it, but in the previous Fallout games, especially older ones, they gave you just a whole list of what you were going to say. None of it was voice acted for your character. Other characters were voice acted, but yours was just it actually said word for word explicitly what you were going to respond with. In the new one, it's a Mass Effect conversation wheel. I would say not as well developed as the Mass Effect conversation wheel. And the Mass Effect conversation wheel already had some problems. This one is even worse. Do you agree with that?
It's not that bad. It's not as good as Fallout 3's, because I kind of liked how it showed you exactly what your response was. But, I mean, it's not horrible.
Would you guys... even if
it's exactly like Mass Effect's kind of
like
you were
not
saying.
Exactly, because with Mass Effect and we'll get into this later, but Mass Effect kind of it has always had a similar system where it was good response, bad response, neutral response, and then
and leave no response basically,
or questions that won't end the conversation, it won't move it forward.
Yeah,
it was very very laid out that, and that never changed except for I think once, and then everyone got pissed. Anyways, but I want to ask you guys about what do you guys think? Would it really disappoint you guys if instead of your character just being written conversations or sentences that you can pick from but were never voiced by your character, or just these little blurbs but your character gives actually says a whole sentence out and acts it out?
I like it how it is now, where it is just a blurb or a one word, a couple word answer.
Sarcastic.
But your character actually says something now and is involved in the conversation.
That's what I prefer too.
I don't think those are mutually exclusive.
Because
you can have the word for word, but you can have it voice acted and acted out.
Yeah, you could. You could have both. but that's just not what was depicted in the game.
Yeah, I think Taylor is exactly right. For some reason in my head it had to be one or the other, but I would have liked it if it was voice acted, but it actually like read it out to you, which I believe there's a mod already for it, which actually just
there's
takes
plenty of mods.
It takes the script and just pastes it on those locations.
I wish I could just say whatever the hell I want.
Well,
just type it out.
That's actually kind of
just type it out. I mean, they have chat pads.
Something I wanted you to speak to. I know. How do you feel about the role-playing aspect of the game? Or the story? Have you felt like engaged with it? Has it been interesting, or have you been wishing that there was a little bit more to it?
Or have you been chasing butterflies the entire time and don't actually know the story?
Or have you literally just been like building a town this entire time?
Well, I will tell you, it took me until I was level 13 to actually get to the second main story. Like it's the first town you get to, well, the first area, but it took me like a solid like week before I even decided to go there.
That's either really impressive or really sad. I don't know which.
Like I kept getting distracted with little small side quests or
me too.
Building
Skyrim all over again.
Yeah, I to this day I haven't finished the
enemy
plot of Skyrim.
Ooh, a piece of candy. Is that duct tape?
The one thing that
adhesive. Oh my god!
Wonder glue. Yes.
The one thing I'm glad that that Bethesda kind of continued with their games is they changed from the Fallout series is they took off a level cap. They kind of started that with Skyrim. There was a level cap originally, but then they released the 2 DLCs and took the level cap away. And now they kind of just released Fallout without a level cap, so you can just get everything.
That's what I was going to ask Brian earlier. So you can just get you can keep getting perks. Like there's no.
I think, but somebody did like the math or something for like how many levels you'd be to have every perk, and it's like 300 and something.
Yeah, level 350 or something like that.
Something like that. Something absurd.
Stupid.
But so that would take you about a week, Scott, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'll take my time with it.
So I guess I'll kind of just get on my soapbox here, because the one thing that I've been hearing lots of complaints about, and which, while I haven't played the game directly myself, does annoy me, is the fact that the role playing in the game is very, very limited to the point of non-existence. The original Fallout games
depends how you decide to play it.
Well,
you can play it.
If you decide to play the game as the exact character that they set out for you and the exact storyline that they wanted,
not even the exact character that they set out for you, and like an exact character that you want to be, like you want to be a melee specialist that's only uses baseball bats and wears a baseball suit the entire time.
That's not roleplay. You can go melee only in Call of Duty multiplayer.
This is true. But
roleplay is about choosing whether you're chaotic good, evil,
glowy red scars on your face.
No,
you can be evil without conversation.
That's what I'm saying. So
you don't need the conversation to be that kind of person or role.
And I'll get into that. This might be a little bit of a
like I can refer back to Fallout 3 Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
I saved Megaton in the beginning, so I didn't let the bomb go off. But eventually, I decided to lockpick on the store at night because, well, I wanted to sell something. My bag.
Because I just wanted to steal. goddammit.
Yeah, no, I wanted to. I had a full inventory and I wanted to get rid of the shit in my bag, so I lockpicked the store.
Shopkeep. I need to sell you stuff.
Good evening, shopkeep.
I imagine you're knocking on his bedroom door inside his house, just like,
yeah.
How'd you get in?
Well, no. So I lockpicked the door, and the guards didn't like that. And
as they do.
In turn, I had to kill the guard. Well, eventually,
the shopkeep didn't like that, so I
exterminated the entire city.
Yeah, just slowly, just snowballed. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what happened. I got pissed off and I just killed everybody.
Yeah.
But I was playing a good character. That's the thing. And I just
had a bad day.
Now.
Yeah, because I had a full inventory. The shopkeep was closed. I lockpicked it. The guard didn't like it. I killed the guard, killed the shopkeep.
One thing I want to
killed the
ask,
civilians.
When you detonate the nuke in Fallout 3, in the megaton nuke, people react to that. There's story implications.
Yeah, there is. Throughout the entire wasteland.
Yeah.
Like, people know that this happened.
Yeah. When you decided to murder everybody in the city, but without blowing up the bomb, did anyone mention that?
Yes.
Really? Who?
Yes.
Someone actually mentioned it.
Yeah. It's actually a quest. You get a quest later on for Tenpenny Tower.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the quest is, but it's about a ghoul who essentially made that bomb or something like that and wanted to blow Megaton up. But I honestly can't remember the quest. Like, it's been so long.
No, but I'm saying, like, when you decided to murder everyone in Megaton instead of blowing up the bomb, did anyone mention the fact that you murdered all those people?
Oh, that I murdered everyone in Megaton?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, going back to what I was saying originally.
Yeah. Stuff like that won't incorporate into...
Yeah, that's what I want to discuss. So
that was something similar to Skyrim, right?
In Fallout 1 and 2, it gave you a lot of options for actual role-playing. There's the very well-known one where if you picked an intelligence or a character with very, very low intelligence, you can keep dropping your intelligence to the point where all your sentences are just like nonsense, just like your guy's completely brain dead. And all the characters in the game will respond to that. They'll clearly say, "Oh my God, this guy's an idiot." They'll treat you like a child. They'll treat you like a dangerous animal if you're very good at fighting. Like, every single character in that game will respond to that, and that's just one example. Lots of the quests had different outcomes depending on how you approached them or decided not to approach them. Whereas from what I've seen of Fallout 4, it started happening in Fallout 3, but especially in Fallout 4, with the conversation system, it always locks you into either you don't take the quest and it's just there, it's always on your thing and there's no implication otherwise. Like, it's always just there, it could always happen. You didn't say no. It's just like, okay, we'll just wait here until you say yes. Or you accept the quest. You can be an ass about it, but still accept it, or you could be a super good guy and accept the quest. The only way you can be something that the game doesn't want, which is like a bad guy basically, is to kill everyone. Like, you just kill everyone, rampage.
There's things now where if you don't do the right or do a proper dialogue, you can lose the quest. Like, it just won't be there. Like, it'll be gone. Like, if you choose not to help, like one of the first missions, you can choose not to help the Minutemen, and just go on. Like,
does anyone react? I know you might not have said no to it, but
no,
do you know if any story changes or any other reactions happen to that?
To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't.
But even let's say that they did, and a couple people mention it to you. The problem with that is, and this is my problem with Skyrim actually, is that lots of your choices, if you go against what they want, like what advanced that story, will not have an impact. So that means that, like, when you progress the story, like you be a good guy, you keep helping all these people, you advance the story and people acknowledge it, and all these, like, things keep happening because of you, because of your agency in the game. If you be a bad person and don't do these things and kill people, there's no real agency. Like, yes, those characters don't exist anymore. Yes, those quest lines become unfinishable, but no one reacts to it. The world doesn't react to those choices at all, and that's what a role-play game is. This world reacts to what you do in it. And the original Fallout games, and the reason why so many people really enjoyed them, was because the world did react to all of your choices, no matter what they are. I mean, within certain limits, but like that's what they were trying to do, like trying to break open those limits and go as far as they can into whatever this character does, be it he's super stupid, will just like completely change all the writing in the game just for that. And Fallout 4 this is the story. Keep going along it if you want to advance the story. If you want to go crazy, Just Cause 3 and blow shit up, we have that too, but it's not going to affect anything. It's just going to make this NPC not walk around anymore. And I think that's the problem that a lot of old school Fallout players have been having with the game. And I feel like that's a lot of like under the surface. I can't remember what the word is right now, but it's one of the smaller reasons why people are starting to. I'm seeing less and less about Fallout 4, and I'm wondering if people are kind of dropping off of it because as much as like an open world crazy fest as it is, there isn't all that much impact to what their actions are after they finish the story.
Oh yeah, once you're done the story, probably nothing. Like same thing with Fallout 3. Same thing with Skyrim.
And that was my problem with Skyrim.
I was gonna say, I think another reason people, like a lot of people might have kind of hopped off is because people have already done everything. Like, as big as the world in Fallout 4 is, it's really not that large.
He's right.
If you put enough hours into it in a couple of weeks, you can do everything.
Oh yeah.
You can go everywhere.
I can honestly say Fallout 3 is the biggest Fallout game I've still ever played.
I think New Vegas might be a little bigger.
No. New Vegas was way smaller than Fallout 3.
Okay.
Way smaller.
But because apparently there is
that was one of the biggest things that I hated about Fallout New Vegas. The map was so minuscule compared to Fallout 3's Wasteland. Like, you can't even compare it.
Now there is a difference that I would like to ask you about regarding the size of the map and the actual quality of things to do in it.
The quality of the map is good.
Yeah, Fallout 3 had a really, like, it was very interesting.
I am kind of cheesed that there's like half the map missing, but I feel like they're gonna introduce some kind of DLC, and that's gonna have a big
the
impact.
season pass, right?
I know they're gonna import DLC, but I mean just with that section of the map, because a good portion of it is just all water.
Yeah,
there is underwater stuff. There is underwater stuff.
There is, because this is what a complaint I've heard a couple of times, is that so much of the map is covered by water, and people were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna go explore underwater." There is a perk to go underwater.
Yep.
There are a couple other things. There's a perk that lets you negate the radiation you get from being in water. So like okay, let's go explore. So someone got all these perks, went underwater, and there was nothing to do.
There is, though.
There is?
There is.
Do you have
there's
a specific
buildings.
Example?
There's broken down ships.
Is there any items in there?
Yeah, you can find stuff.
Is there any combat in there? As far as I understood, you can't loot underwater. You can't loot or participate in combat underwater.
I don't know about combat.
Apparently, you just can't. You can't fight in it. Apparently, I don't know if that's true. Granted, in the files of the game, they discovered a gun, which I think was called the harpoon gun or something like that. And in its firing animation, it looks like there's bubbles coming out of the end of it, like air escaping underwater. So people are assuming that yes, there will be DLC.
I think they're going to have an underwater world.
Yes, I think there will be DLC for it, or maybe there's some undiscovered something that people.
I think there's going to be a completely encapsulated world underneath that water, like that. People are so like they just have no idea what's going on out in.
That would be very, very interesting. Like that's a really cool, like some sort of like weird raptor city. Like that would be cool.
Bioshock.
Yeah, that's what I almost think that's what they're planning.
Yeah.
They're teaming up with the guys who made Bioshock, and Bioshock will just actually be under.
Yeah, it's just Bioshock. Yeah,
some big daddies and stuff.
But it's like 100 years in the future, so they're all just like super crazy, and like there's radiation now, and with all the madness, yeah, it'd be silly. But yeah, so the thing I was saying is that people are a little upset because like so much of this landscape is taken up by the water, and there's very little to do under it. From what Brennan has said, there's a little bit to do. But
there is a little bit, but it's pretty minimal.
And apparently there's a title thing, a loading screen note, which is talking about some city that was saying like, this city was once thriving until a giant sea monster attacked it. And apparently no one's seen anything about this sea monster. Like, it doesn't seem to exist in the game. This might change. Like, the thing about Bethesda is, like, there's a lot of, like, hidden things in their games. Like, people are just starting to discover, like, some archer in Skyrim, like the super level companion archer that will teach you archery in, like, 6 lessons all the way to 100 or some bullshit. And she was there, like, apparently since the beginning of the game, but people are just starting to find her. So, like, I don't doubt there is hidden things in it, but there seems like all the water area seems like a wasted opportunity that they're waiting to fill out with DLC.
Agreed.
I feel that's more just a symptom of modern gaming. To keep people interested, you have to continuously release content, and you have to have places to put that content.
Yeah,
that is true. I
mean, with Fallout 3, they did it pretty well. They had extra areas
from the DLC.
Like, the map was already so friggin' big. In every area everything they released for DLC was a completely new area. Like Anchorage is fucking stupid. But
some of the other ones
the other one where you go to Pittsburgh, the mothership Zeta, where you visit the spaceship. That was amazing. The guns you got from that thing was amazing.
Did you have to, like, go through a separate loading screen or something?
Yes.
Maybe they just wanted to make the DLC world feel connected more.
Probably. That's probably what it is.
That's exactly what it was. It was like walking through a building, like how you load up sometimes.
I used to be very, very against DLC. I didn't like it, mainly because I didn't want to buy it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jacob.
But now I'm like I've really just come to the conclusion, which I feel is like it's the most rational, that like,
it's necessary.
Yeah, like people want more content. It's not free, so like just like keep releasing DLC as long as people pay for it. The one thing I dislike is when it feels, or they actually do, strip parts of what was expected from the game, release a very, very simplified or unexpanded version of that, and then put like things that were already developed into it later and charge you a lot for it. That always leaves me like, that always leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And the way I deal with that is I don't buy that. There's very, very little DLC that I buy.
You haven't even bought all the Mass Effect DLC, have you?
I have bought precisely none of the Mass Effect DLC. The only one I will consider getting is
Veteran.
No, the what's the ending, like, Citadel party thing for 3?
Oh yeah,
that one. I want that one, and I should play it soon.
Leviathan was good though too.
See, those ones, like, I get that was my phase where I was like, no, DLC is dumb. Now maybe I'd get it, but like I think
the best DLC in all the Mass Effect games is Lair of the Shadow Broker in Mass Effect 2.
That I did like when that was in my phase where like Mass Effect is the best thing ever. I did watch all the DLC because I was like, I'm not going to buy this, but I need to know the story, so I just watched them play through it. Now probably would have bought it, funds permitting, but yeah, back then I was just like, blah.
I bought it all.
Yeah.
Did you get an achievement?
Getting back to...
Yeah, I did.
Getting back to
got a lot of achievements.
While I look for more things to talk about, Brandon, do you have any ideas besides the water level that they might add for DLC?
Honestly, it could be anything. I think... I don't know. Besides the water level, I mean, they could definitely do...
Might let you build a house.
Skyrim.
I definitely feel like there's going to be other settlements that they're going to introduce, where you can build. And I mean, no, but settlements. They're definitely going to expand on the settlements part.
I think so as well. I think
Probably,
with the settlements, it might
probably
be
with every new DLC, there's going to be a new settlement.
Exactly. I think it'll be like every DLC they're going to add more things you can do with the settlements. There might be like a big settlement DLC that'll come up, but it's not going to be in the first like 3, I think.
Underwater settlements is what you're saying?
Probably.
Yep.
That'll probably be a thing.
Bioshock?
That'll be amazing.
And then there's going to be one in the sky.
You get a Big Daddy power suit?
It's got a drill.
I mean, they already have this flying blimp, so...
Is it flying blimp?
Yeah.
Opposed to the not flying
for the
blimps that exist.
For the Brotherhood of Steel. For the Brotherhood.
Opposed to those not flying blimps that usually exist, right?
Well, no, those are crashed blimps.
I mean, it's a military blimp.
It's a
It's
military.
all armored and shit, and it holds these. So
you can't
my
pop
God.
it.
So I desperately need to pee. We will go on a 2-minute break. We'll be right back. Is everyone cool with that? I really hope you are, because it's.
Hey!
Hey, we're back. I'm sorry.
Appa.
I don't have control of my bladder. I'm not a super mutant. Oh my god.
Speaking of super mutants,
Speaking of super mutants, Fallout 4. Brandon,
Fallout 4.
Taylor, Scott. I know the last two haven't talked much, but I want to know.
Who are
I
these
try,
super
but you guys just interrupt me every time, so I just.
So,
stop
anyways,
I only did it once,
It's a
Scott.
habit.
so I just want to know, guys. Bryn, are you going to keep playing the game?
on it.
Do you see yourself keeping up with Fallout? Is it a game that you're going to keep going back to, sinking hours into like you did Skyrim?
Yes.
Yeah.
What they did with Fallout 3 too. I mean, I played Fallout 3 more than I played Skyrim, and I played a lot of Skyrim.
Okay.
I mean, I plan on playing it, so the same thing will happen to me. So
Yeah, you preempted my question, but
I mean, he'll definitely help me play
I
more.
figured you
Fallout.
were gonna go on that
Exactly.
because we all know Taylor's like freaking like it's like the Antichrist. Like,
Wait, why am I
play
the
it.
Antichrist?
not you're
Because
not
Mike's
the
not
Antichrist.
here. You're the one that
Yeah.
everyone.
Oh yeah,
hates.
you're the bad guy.
You're
now.
the new Mike.
yeah.
I guess I have to be.
Seriously?
With that in mind,
Should I make another picture to take up Mike and as my other hand?
Oh my god. It's gotta be your other. Yeah, your other hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be...
That'd be incredible.
So I wanted to ask Taylor, do you have any intention of playing this, or is it just not your thing?
No.
My major thing is I am physically limited in playing it. I do not have anything to play it on. Did they release a GBA version? I have
There's
a
a
GBA.
PC version.
Yeah, there's
My
a
computer
PC that
can't
can
run
play it.
PC.
I mean,
not
actually, the minimum requirements aren't that bad.
Nobody likes
not-
playing
it's
games
not
on the
bad.
minimum specs.
That's
No.
interesting.
Speaking as
Except
someone
for
who
Jacob.
played on the minimum specs for a long, long time, I did not enjoy it, but I did it.
Fucking Jacob playing on like the fucking big like.
listen. If you play
What was
Call of
the
Duty,
resolution?
if
Like
you play Call of Duty on the lowest specs on
720
your
by
laptop,
3
that's gonna
yeah,
melt.
yeah.
420
20 by 340.
You have the advantage because you just like bloop, and people can't track you, and then you just like burst them in the face with a shotgun because you can't aim when you're blooping around. Anyways,
Jesus Christ. You're blooping.
invest in a good computer. Best decision I ever made. But yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna pick up Fallout 4. It's not a series. I've never really liked the aesthetic. Honestly, not right now. But also like I've never really cared for the aesthetic. I've never really had any sort of fantasy with like the post-apocalyptic like Mad Max kind of style. It's just not. I liked Skyrim. Skyrim like hooked me just because of like, oh my god.
I'm more of a space guy, but
yeah, space is cool too.
Yeah, space is cool.
I've never been into Mad Max.
Space is right.
That's why I liked Fallout 3's
It's in
Mothership Zeta DLC. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
But going back to Fallout 4, do you
in space.
Have
Yeah.
any more questions?
yeah, is there anything you guys want to touch on, or can we stop?
Space.
Do you think Wheatley will be in Fallout 4?
Clearly.
No.
I'm in space.
I mean, they're all in
Space. I'm in space.
They're all in space. Fuck it, whatever.
Space.
Do you guys have anything you guys want to touch on?
Oh.
How do you
God.
feel about dog meat?
I love dog.
Oh, the
meat.
companions! Thank you, Taylor. This is why
Dog
you're
meat's
here.
my homie.
What do you think about the companions in this game compared to Fallout 3?
Okay, dog meat.
Just glad there's one called
Great.
Dog, really.
Other
Dog meat's in every Fallout
companions.
game.
Yeah, dog meat's in every Fallout game.
the Fallout games. Once again, here we're back to gonna loop back to the
I
beginning
think
of
Dog Meat started in 2 or maybe the first one. I can't remember.
Never
No, he was in the first one.
He was definitely
played
in the
or
first one.
watched anything until Fallout 4. So
Now we're telling you.
No, I like dog meat. The other companions aren't as intelligent as him.
Damn.
that's funny.
Damn.
Stupid, honest intelligence.
You are dumber than a dog, and this dog ain't even real, bro.
And this dog is
Like
me.
they just
Fair.
do stupid shit and they get in your way. Like they're not like a dog where you can't just jump over them if he's in the way.
There's this amazing GIF where the player he has the nuclear launcher and he drops it to pick up another weapon, and the AI
They pick it up.
they pick it up. And so like he's just like fighting this guy with like a bat, and then like he just like turns around like and out of the corner of his eye he just sees his AI companion
Fat Boy.
pick up the bat,
Load it up.
and just like fire it into like this death claw, and like it just oh my god, it was beautiful.
Isn't it called
Oh,
Fat
man.
Boy, or is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called
Fat Boy,
Fat
not
Boy
Big
or the
Boy.
Big Boy.
Fun fact.
It doesn't have a relation to the Pip Boy
No.
Possibly.
or the Game Boy.
Actually, what's this weapon? I keep seeing gifs of people like firing random items out of
The
some
junk
sort of gun.
jet.
Junk
The
jet.
junk jet is
Jabberwocky.
amazing. No.
Because I again, sorry,
The
this is
Jabberwocky.
now per se a gif, but I saw another gif of someone firing a skull out of that weapon,
The Jabberwocky.
hitting a guy in the head, their old head being like blasted off, and like it just sitting on their neck.
Oh my, that's
It's
amazing.
pretty great.
Yeah, I've seen one where people load it with pre-war money, and they'll just
Yeah.
shoot pre-war money at everybody.
So money.
That's pretty funny.
But have you seen anything like really interesting or weird?
Jabberwocky.
I've seen some
Have you
pretty
seen the
amazing
Jabberwocky?
settlement stuff. Like people creating these massive signs. Okay, there's actually a video that I need to tell you about.
You can link it in chat when you have it.
I'm linking it in the chat. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Someone created a giant penis out of the signs that you can create. Like they're lights. They're lights. They're not signs. They're lights. And they're activated by switch and generators, and you have to power it up and everything.
It sounds like
and-
people figuring out Minecraft.
Yes.
Redstone.
If you can find the GIF, please link it in chat. But
It's not a GIF. It's a video.
I want
It
to
needs to be
mention-
watched by everybody.
I
It's called the Tower of Flesh.
wanted to ask. Gross. Super gross.
I can thank Thierry for showing me this, actually. It's coming. Hold on. You have to listen to it with music, too. Because if you don't listen to it with the music, when it gets to the point of the awesomeness,
When you realize
it just doesn't work.
I wanted to ask you, Brandon, is there anything specific in your playthrough that you have seen that's like just made you like, wow, this game is actually really, really cool? And he's gone. Great. Okay. One last thing I wanted to mention about this game is apparently
Yes, actually, there's been a few.
There is something weird with the story. It seems like certain segments of the story got a lot of polish. Like they're very, very cool. The characters in them are very well animated and very interesting. And then other parts of the main story, the characters are on the verge of, or actually passing the verge of, just T-posing, and like they have like no character. Their lines are very simple. The plot is very contrived and just like, I trust you now with my life, even though I've met you and know you for five minutes. Like, Brandon, can you speak to any of that? Has the story held up like throughout the entirety of it, or have you?
The Minutemen story is freaking stupid. Like you're going around saving these other settlements, and like
that sounds terrible.
Do you at least dress up like
an
owl?
Who does that? Who saves these other people?
Yeah, who saves people?
But no. It's like you're saving these other people, but like, it's like, oh, help me clear this area.
Yeah.
And then you clear the area, you come back, and it's like, oh, we're forever grateful. We were going to join your service now. And then you never hear from them again. Like,
I like to think that they're actually just like, what a sucker. Thanks for clearing all that shit out.
Thanks for clearing this shit. I'm going to go steal a bunch of stuff now. Loser.
But yeah, like, was that like a side quest or like an actual main part of the story?
I think it's the main quest for the Minutemen.
Really?
Is saving these other settlements. I can't say for sure because I'm really not that far into it because I get so distracted with things.
Chasing butterflies.
Also, Scott is frozen.
In the best,
like,
I just realized that. That is
like
amazing.
He's doing like a complete reach around.
He might be pulling out a weapon. I can't be sure. And he's
I'm not sure if he's like taking a sword from his hilt or something.
And we lost him.
And he's gone.
And he's back. But yeah, because that's a complaint I've been hearing a lot, that like the story,
just the Minutemen story in general, I've heard is just really bad. Like everything else is pretty cool, like the Brotherhood of Steel, probably one of my favorite. I heard the Railroad is a really good story to follow actually as well.
Do you know how the game
I haven't
ends?
met those guys yet, but I know of them.
Brandon, have you seen the ending of the game yet?
No, and I won't see it until I.
Yeah, we'll try and keep spoilers out of this podcast.
It's been out for 2 weeks. There's no such thing as spoilers.
Spoilers, there's Minutemen in the game.
I'm still not gonna like look at it. Like
Are
I
there
have
any
an idea
new-
of what it is.
Are there any new enemies in this game that weren't in Fallout 3?
Giant motherfucking Deathclaws.
No, Deathclaws were in Fallout 3 as well.
Giant motherfucking
Deathclaws were in Fallout 4 New Vegas as well. There's visible
Fallout 4 New Vegas.
Godzilla-sized Deathclaws.
Yeah.
I'm actually not
beginning.
sure of
Anyways,
enemies.
I
Like,
was
I
actually
know
a
lots of the
genuine
enemies-
question, but fine.
I know a lot of the enemies are like they've been changed somewhat. Like for example, the Rad Scorpions. The Rad Scorpions used to just be like they just like walk up to you, and now they spot you, they burrow underground, and then they like come up behind you and bite your ass.
Rad
This
Scorpions
apparently
are
being the
the
motion
real
for biting your ass. But yeah, exactly.
Rad
So I
Scorpions
know
are-
there have been updates to them, and like ghouls are actually like kind of terrifying now, and like they like glow in the dark. I think.
No,
Brandon,
but
can you speak to that?
there is glowing ghouls. Yeah, okay. So there's like modified enemies of like existing enemies. So there's like glowing ghouls, feral ghouls.
Godzilla Deathclaws.
Same thing with super mutants. Like there's skirmish
Big head
super
ghouls.
mutants. There's one super mutant I fought. Actually, you would have saw it in the video if we could have got it to work. But it was a super mutant called the Butcher, and he was just like a health. He just had a lot of health.
Do they have big teeth and an apron?
No.
Did he
There
talk
was
about
no-
fresh meat?
Fresh meat. Speaking
Did you
of
try to kill
heroes-
Nephilim while you saw him?
I want that vulture mount. Anyways, so yeah, Brandon, are there any like newer enemies?
I mean, not that I can really think of, or maybe I haven't seen them yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, they have.
You are still pretty early in the game.
I am really early in the game.
Yeah. Alrighty. Sorry to try to move this on unceremoniously, but I think one topic that I can't believe I almost forgot to mention was bugs. How stable? First, what
bees?
Platform? Bees.
Okay. First of all,
bees.
I had a bug
Bees?
in the first 2 hours of the game I was playing.
What platform?
It was
are you
literally
playing on?
the first mission
Xbox One.
that
Xbox
broke Fallout 4 for me.
Like
My Xbox just turned on.
Xbox
Yeah, literally,
Bing!
it was you could not
Xbox Bing!
like it broke it to the point where you could not progress any farther.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what happened was like this first mission you get to, spoiler alert, you meet the Minutemen, and you have to help these Minutemen clear out the town. Well, to clear it out, they give you a suit of power armor, and as you're clearing it out, you're moving your way down the streets. You get to an area where a Deathclaw spawns. He comes out of the sewer.
Fly 300 feet up in the air and then land on the ground and die.
Do you get a mammoth tusk out of it?
No, but you have to kill this Deathclaw, and I killed the Deathclaw. And so I thought I killed everyone else, but the quest says you need to clear the town, even knowing no one's in the town or anything like that. So it kind of breaks. Like you can't progress until you clear that area, and the game breaks and just won't progress. Like I had to start over. Like I had to go back like an hour's worth, and start over to progress farther. I had to do it about 2 or 3 times too.
I heard of a reporter who had granted a pre-release copy of the game, but still it should be working, where they had gotten all the way to the end quest. Like it was like the last bit of the mission, of the final mission, and an elevator just like wouldn't work for them, so they couldn't get up to the last level, and they had played for like 20 hours just trying to beat the story so they can get the review out. There was no help for them. So they just said, fuck it, I'm never playing this game again. They uninstalled it from their hard drive, they gave it back, or they gave it back to their manager of whatever review company they were with and said, I don't want to touch this game ever again.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was just like the one problem with Bethesda games is they're not optimized
Notoriously
at
buggy.
all. Like, and they seem to get away with it. That's the one problem. Like, people have just accepted the fact that Skyrim and Fallout are buggy pieces of shit for months.
But to be fair, a game with that much detail is going to have bugs.
How many bugs have you seen in GTA?
A lot.
Really?
Not game-breaking bugs, though.
But GTA is not comparable to the size of Skyrim.
I think it is.
It's really
There's
not.
plenty. Just Cause 3. I don't know if there's the game breaking
Just Cause,
bugs.
maybe.
I don't think there's plenty of games. Honestly, because I'm on the spot, I can't think of any except for those examples.
But everything in Fallout you can go into, you can use, you can manipulate. In GTA, that's very limited. There's a handful of buildings you can get into, a handful of things you can manipulate, and the level actually only loads in the areas that you're in. It's not constantly loading throughout the entire world.
All right. There might
Skyrim
be
only loaded the area you were in.
Skyrim does, not Fallout's
Fallout?
different.
Oh yeah.
I know. I'm just saying Skyrim, because like, if you knew the glitch to get like underneath the first city in Whiterun in Skyrim, you can get underneath, then you can walk through an unrendered world in Skyrim.
Nice. I didn't know that.
I'm sure there's other games. I just can't think of them, but there are other games where, like, they do very similar things to Fallout, and they don't have the same amount of bugs. And even so, Bethesda is a huge publisher who has sold millions of copies. Like, they have money. Their games are super popular. They have this huge fandom behind them. They should be able to release a game that doesn't have game-breaking bugs. That doesn't have...
That allows you to at least progress through the story smoothly.
Yeah, that one that I encountered, actually a lot more people encountered. Too.
Yeah, like that's something that like not like one or two people found because they were dicking around. It's something that a significant player base that bought your game early, not early, but like when it came out, like couldn't beat because the game because of. And that's just like I can't understand how people aren't more angry about that. I know there was a big kerfuffle on the internet earlier about gaming websites giving Fallout 4 like 8s, 9s, and 7s, and saying, "Oh yeah,
instead of 10s."
There's a couple.
I could see them getting
no. Getting 7s and 8s and 9s instead of 2s and 3s because the game is broken. You cannot finish it. Most games, if it wasn't Bethesda, if a game had a game-breaking bug for even 10% of the population, people would the reviewers would say this is shit. Don't play it. It's broken. There's some cool mechanics, but like it doesn't work. But Bethesda gets a free pass because oh my god, it's Skyrim.
They probably just didn't expect someone to get to that elevator so soon. They probably thought they had time.
But they're releasing review copies. Like I don't know, like
Jacob, you're the Hulk.
I really don't know about this.
No,
sometimes there are dates,
green
and
on my
sometimes you
screen.
just can't meet those dates.
I just like it, I want to compare it to a Nintendo game. The only time I've ever heard of a Nintendo game having a game-breaking bug where you couldn't advance in the story, like it just like broke your game. And it wasn't because you specifically tried to glitch through a wall or did something like very, very weird, was Metroid Other M. There was one part in that where if you did something slightly out of order, a door would be locked and you couldn't get past, and they patched it.
They also had to patch something for Skyward Sword.
To be fair, they're constantly patching Fallout as well. I mean, the first huge patch just rolled out.
But that was like what? Skyrim and Metroid Other M out of like almost every Nintendo game.
Skyrim.
Did I say Skyrim? Skyward Sword. Meanwhile, every single Bethesda game has like just like awful bugs, and I don't know why people are just like, yeah, well, it's such a huge world. Well, like, then wait and fix it until you release it. Like, you have the money. Skyrim sold how much? Like, this is Fallout 4. People have been incredibly excited about this for years. Like, oh, when's Fallout Boston coming out? I remember that, like, fucking 2 EAs ago, people were pissing their pants about that.
I mean, nobody knew about this until...
People knew. People knew about Fallout
No, people
Boston.
knew it was going to come out, but they didn't know it was Boston until E3.
No, people were guessing Boston.
Fallout 4 never released any actual information. Like, they didn't. It was all speculation.
Yeah, it was speculation, but a lot of people were saying like, no, the next one's gonna be Boston. I'm pretty sure. But either way, like it's like, my main point is that like I don't understand why Fallout 4 or just Bethesda in general can release very like broken games. Like, not for everybody. There's a lot of people who play through the game and never have a problem, but like a significant chunk of your player base has game-breaking bugs, and that's just like, what? How?
Okay, I'm gonna interject now.
Yes.
With your thing about bringing up Nintendo and their games not buggy, Nintendo is very infamous for delaying games. They'll delay games, but like other studios, they don't exactly have that luxury. So like you can't like they announced Fallout 4, they can't delay this.
Oh no.
They have
what
to
happened
release
to
it,
Watch Dogs.
good or bad.
Why can't they delay it?
Look what happened to Watch Dogs. Look what happened to Master Chief Collection.
What happened to
Master Chief
Fallout?
Collection, they had a
Watch
hard date
Dogs?
to get.
It's shit.
And
They got
it's
pushed
shit
back
now
like
because
3 times, and then it was terrible.
What about The Division? That's been delayed for fucking ever. People are still hype about that.
It only got delayed once. It was supposed to come out in
And that's
November.
until the game
and
comes
got
out.
delayed to March.
People were hyped about Watch Dogs until the game was actually released, and then they played, and they're like, oh.
Watch Dogs was shit.
I still have to go with the adage that actually Nintendo came up with, which is a broken game is always bad. Like, you can't... a bad game released is bad forever. I mean, like, you can fix that with patches and shit, but like, just like delay the game. I don't understand why. Like, why people
I
would
disagree
still
with
hype.
that.
Really?
A game can get better once it's released. I stand firmly by that. And if Bethesda is patching Fallout, then they're trying. They're owned up that they're like, yeah, it's not the best game. Here we go. We'll try to fix it.
While I do, that does actually sound very reasonable to me. on the one hand, because like oh fuck, like our game is broken, we will fix it, we will do whatever we can to fix it, but it seems that for them,
it seemed like it was play tested.
Yeah, for them it just seems like they're getting away with something that most other people can't get away with. And I don't know, I guess just because they've released such good games, like Fallout 3 is a very good game, New Vegas is a very good game, Fallout 4 is a very, very good game, Skyrim is a very good game. All these games they've released, they're all very good. But they've all released in such a weird state. And for some reason people are like, oh, okay, like, whatever. Like, I don't understand why, because so many other games, if they release like this, like Arkham Asylum, not Arkham Asylum, what's the newest Batman game? Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight.
Granted, that game had, I feel like, a lot more people the game was breaking for. But what about Assassin's Creed Unity? Like, Assassin's Creed, people have been shitting on that game for a while now, just because of, you know, all the reasons to shit on that game. But the Unity was broken for a lot of people, and people were just like, "Fuck Assassin's Creed! Ubisoft, you're the worst." And meanwhile,
and Syndicate comes out and they buy it.
Yeah, exactly. But well, you know, internet's stupid. But like, I agreed with that sentiment. And then Bethesda releases a game in somewhat of the similar situation, very similar. Like, the game is broken for a large, a large majority, for a significant chunk of your player base. The game is just broken. But for some reason, because people love Bethesda, they're just like, whatever. And even reviewers who should be completely impartial are just saying like, oh no, whatever. It's still a cool game. 9 out of 10.
Well, isn't it telling that you say that like, all the Bethesda games released weirdly and in these bad states, but then you say, but they good games. They left a good memory on you. They
didn't actually, not on me specifically.
That's because you played Fallout New Vegas.
New Vegas was actually very interesting. Skyrim left a bad taste in my mouth. Fallout 3 left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. I think it's just a problem I have specifically with Bethesda. But like, I think the main crux of my argument and my rage, apparently, I don't know I was so passionate about this, but I am all of a sudden, is that like, I don't understand why, like, Taylor, you are absolutely right. What you're saying, like, oh my god, our game is broken, let's fix it. We'll do everything in our power to fix it. Why didn't you fix it before release? Why didn't you respect your player base enough to fix it? Because you've had this problem with literally every game you've released over the past 6 years.
Bugs are a lot harder than they seem. You said the review copy, only one guy came across that.
It wasn't one guy. It was just the one guy I was listening to a podcast to. I've heard so many people say, oh yeah, like I had a game-breaking bug and I had to restart.
And sometimes, even if you know that there is a bug, doesn't mean you know how to fix it. Things do take time, and that's an unfortunate reality of game design.
Yep. As much as I love the fact that like what you're saying is completely reasonable, so many games release, especially top tier AAA titles that aren't broken, that don't have to have patches constantly for the next couple months. Meanwhile, Fallout 4 is just like, oh yeah, it's broken it'll probably be like this for like a month or so, but you know, we'll fix it.
So they're bad at coding, they'll fix it.
I don't know why people are more upset about this. Like if I was super, granted I'm not super excited about Fallout, but if I was super excited, if I was waiting for this game, it came out, and I got to a game-breaking bug anywhere in the process, I would be super salty.
To be honest, when I got into mine, I wasn't really that mad, but it did bother me that I wasted just like 3-4 hours on trying to fix it. But, I mean, I like Fallout. The Fallout games in general.
Yeah.
And I know I'd be able to find a fix for it eventually, and I did. I fixed it, and I'm progressing again. So I don't give a shit.
I mean,
that's exactly, but that's the kind of thing, like, that's exactly what Jacob's saying, right? It's like exactly your mindset. It's like, if that was any other game, they would have people would have been like, I'm not playing anymore. That's it.
And maybe that's it. Maybe that just speaks to some sort of, I won't say the quality, but something Bethesda has tapped into some sort of thing that gamers just love. I don't know whether it's like the weird.
It's the open world. Get to do anything you want.
Something about their games, or maybe the company themselves, is just like people are like, we like you, we trust you, we know you'll fix it. And maybe that just speaks to the game. Just like, yeah, we know it's broken. We'll play it anyways. We know you'll fix it. And maybe that's just good in a way. Like, it's a weird situation.
Well, what's wrong with a game company releasing good games, like quote unquote good games, and then people like giving them kind of a pass because they've released good games before. They have this rapport.
Because if another game, let's say I was a new indie, and this may not be the best example, but let's say I was a new indie, I released a game, I pour my heart and soul into it, I'm a really shitty coder, this sounds like it could actually happen to me, and the game is really buggy and broken when I release it. But then, 4 months later, I've read up on fucking A++ or whatever the fuck it's called. See, this is how good a coder I am. And I fix up my game, and now it's running beautifully. But it's released, people played it, reviewers played it, they said this is shit, it doesn't work, and no one touched it.
Well, you also waited 4 months to fix the game.
Whatever. I read through it in a week, and I fixed it up. Reviewers have already reviewed the game, they've looked at it, and they said, no, it's shit, it doesn't work, don't buy it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Bethesda has the rapport. They have that trust that they'll fix things and that they'll do good. An indie guy doesn't. He doesn't have that trust.
I guess that's what it comes to. They just, like, people... I guess you're right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
They fixed their... I do think there is something inherently bad about that. They should release...
How is having trust a bad thing?
No, they should respect their audience. It's bedtime. Apparently.
They respect their audience by releasing the game on time.
They should... No. I would happily wait for a game until it's like pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect game. But the Bethesda games are broken. They're objectively broken. I don't understand.
You wait for a game for say you'd wait for a game that you really want for an extremely long amount of time. But
Half-Life 3.
The point is, yeah, they're going to try to make the best game that they can with the budget that they have and the time constraints that they're limited to.
I think Bethesda has a lot of money. If they went to whoever...
Money does not equal manpower.
It's about time. You're right. You're
but time is the biggest factor. Like, as soon as a publisher announces that they're going to be releasing a game, they're immediately set with a very strict deadline. And
I don't want to
meet that deadline costs a lot of money.
I don't want to get into the development cycle of video games because none of us are in the industry. None of us have made a game. None of us have worked with a company who's made a game. I don't want to talk about how it all comes together because we don't know. It could be.
I actually know quite a bit.
I know you actually do have a couple of connections, but you yourself have never worked with a development company to work on a title.
No.
We don't know how it works. We don't know. It could be as simple as them saying like, oh no, like this was the time frame we set. Our whatever managers, our investors are saying no, this was the time limit. You have to release at this date. Or it could be like, oh yeah, we could have waited an extra 3 months and polished up the game, but we didn't want to because we knew people would buy it. I don't want to comment on that. And honestly, I think we've been going on this for long enough because it's just going back in a circle.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the at least my final thoughts on this is that you guys are right. They have a trust because while they have released broken games, they've always fixed them in the end.
Well, I can't say they fixed Fallout 3's breaks, but I mean, I never ran into anything that was game breaking.
Game breaking, like there's small bugs always happen in video games, but like the game breaking ones, they fix. They fix the fact that you fly to the moon into when you get hit by a giant. Even though I thought that was a feature, not a bug. Like they fixed them at the very least. To the moon DLC. So there is that, but I do think there is something really weird about the fact that this company, who fans love, and they're so committed to their community to fix these games that they don't just wait a little bit after all the millions of people who've bought and played this game. They don't just wait a little bit to make sure that the game is as good as they can get it to, when they release it. It's just weird to me, but I don't think we should talk about that anymore.
Because you're losing?
I mean, maybe, but I don't think you're going to convince me of the fact that like they shouldn't do that. Nintendo doesn't do that. Blizzard doesn't do that.
Nintendo operates completely differently than any other
There are also a lot of studios that just don't want to release their games for Nintendo.
Thing.
No, but yes. It's not just Nintendo.
And then Blizzard's also a very not. They're very different as well.
Who are the guys that make Uncharted? Uncharted has never had any like huge game-breaking bugs. Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog has never had. Insomniac games have never had any game-breaking bugs. There's been most games don't release in the state because if they did, they would get crucified. And for some reason, Fallout gets a pass because they've done it so often. It's Bethesda, so like you just learn to expect that, and it's just weird. We're looping again, and I'm saying I'm using my host powers. I'm channeling my host powers as a superhero. We're stopping talking about this. Is there anything else you guys want to mention about Fallout 4?
You probably should have used the excuse that it's past your bedtime.
It is past my bedtime. It is actually past my bedtime.
Jacob's getting grumpy. That's how you
man.
Past bedtime.
I'm out of liquor. It's not true. Actually, I have a little
My
bit.
Sprite ran out a long time ago.
I'm out of liquor. Now I'm grumpy. Is there anything you guys want to talk about Fallout 4? Do you guys have any final opinions on Fallout 4? Scott, can I start with you?
Still gonna play it. Still gonna probably sink a lot of hours in. Well, I'm gonna obviously still gonna sink a lot of hours into it. I'll probably enjoy most of it. It'll be exciting to see what they come out with, though. Because I've kind of watched the story to completion, so I already know how it goes.
So you're excited for DLC?
Yeah. I want to see what they'll do because I want it to be more than like Skyrim's DLC. Like now you can build houses in this world that's broken.
But you can do that in the base game.
Well, you can't build houses. You can upgrade settlements and stuff like that. It's different.
You can't build houses?
I don't think so.
Brandon?
What? You can
build a house in Fallout?
Fallout? Yeah.
Oh.
You can build all kinds of shit. Did you not see the video I linked?
Can you not see the dick? God.
No. Watch the video.
I haven't.
Watch the video.
I'm podcasting. I can't watch it.
The pictures I posted in. Did you guys see the pictures I posted in Skype chat?
I don't give a shit about your pictures.
Taylor,
watch the damn video.
No, watch. Look at the fucking
final opinions you want to give on Fallout 4?
I might play it in 10 years if it's on Steam sale and I have a better computer by then.
10 years? Come on, give it like 3. In 3 years, this game's gonna be like $2. I can't speak to your computer, but it will be $2.
My computer will be $2.
Yes.
3 years.
Alrighty. Brandon, what about you?
You posted the fucking.
Watch the damn video. That's all I have to say.
Tomorrow.
Settlements are awesome. I don't know. I'm waiting for DLC. I need to play the story because apparently I haven't done that. I don't know. I mean, my final opinions are just I like Fallout. Great game.
10 out of 10.
And yeah, I don't give a shit about the flaws.
All right.
He's not that shallow, Jacob.
6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10.
Hero.
8 out of 10 because I don't know where the rest of the other 2 points are.
I don't know.
I just forget.
They went into.
I got distracted by.
They went into Taylor's computer. Yeah, I'll say I have no interest in Fallout 4. I've played a couple of the Fallout games. Pretty cool. Not really my bag. I just don't like the ethos. Not the ethos. I do like the ethos. I don't like the setting. I don't care for Mad Max. I want fantasy or I want space. And I think that wraps us up on Fallout 4. I didn't expect that to become a super rant fest, almost to the degree of Luigi's Mansion. Holy shit.
Almost.
Almost.
The podcast I regretted not talking in.
But yeah, I think that was a good one, guys. So we will start wrapping this up, and I want to say to you, our viewer, be you on Twitch or YouTube or anywhere else,
singular
viewer, if you like what we're doing here, you can check us out on YouTube or Twitch. On YouTube, we are Press A to Podcast. On Twitch, we are
Press A to Podcast with
Press _A_2_podcast. We stream every Thursday. I know this is a Wednesday. Usually it's on Thursdays. The podcast proper because Taylor couldn't, or because Scott couldn't be here tomorrow. Podcast is every other Tuesday. If you want to tune into that, we'll be streaming Thursday. Every other week, or in the in-between weeks, we do gameplay. I'm all flustered now. I'm sorry. But yeah, go check us out. You can also follow us on Press A2 Podcast on Twitter. That's where the best place to find out if we're streaming or anything. You can find out all the hand motions on Press A2 Podcast on Twitter. Some of us do other content besides this, and I'll let them speak. I'll start with Brandon. Do you do anything besides this show?
Sometimes I stream stuff, on that link right there, twitch.tv, that name.
I haven't seen the underlay, so I don't know where mine would be.
Awful name. Yours is above you, Scott.
And it's just cool. Scott. There's nothing else with it. Just
Scott.
Scott.
If you actually paid attention to the stream, maybe you'd know.
No.
So yeah, Brandon does stream on Twitch. His schedule is erratic, but it's getting pretty good.
There's no schedule.
There's no schedule, but he does stream, and it's all really cool games. Taylor, do you have anything?
Minecraft soon. PC Minecraft.
PC Minecraft.
I'm so down to stream with you, Brandon. Minecraft.
Hells yeah.
So yeah, me and Brandon will be streaming. Scott is planning to put out some content on the Press A to Podcast YouTube channel. That will be happening in about a month or so. We'll see how that works out.
Such loyalty.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. The whole wrap up has gone long enough, and I
watch the damn video.
Super. Anyways, guys,
Ice cream.
Have fun and good luck. I lost my mouse, and we're gone.